Now, last week we had a Q&A about whether or not people actually fall for some of those computer tech support scams, and we've talked about those a lot over the years. But now these scams are getting more sophisticated, and a viewer wrote in who wanted to remain anonymous with a crazy story about some of the new tactics these people are doing. Now, I want to make clear up front that the viewer who wrote in with this did not fall for this scam, but played along to see what they would have him do, and he had them convinced that he was actually falling for it. So it began with an automated call from the quote-unquote Social Security Administration warning them that they are canceling his Social Security number because of a scam. And he had to push a button on his phone to be connected with somebody. So immediately here, they're sending out probably thousands of robocalls. And then every time somebody hits a button, it connects them to the call center in some country, who knows where, to try to perpetuate the rest of the scam. So he pressed 1 and was told that there were 24 fraudulent accounts opened up on his Social Security number in Nevada. And this might be credible to some people because we have the Equifax thing that's out in the news right now. So these scammers will be taking advantage of the news and convincing people that their stolen information is being used to open up false accounts. So it's not out of the ordinary, perhaps, to get a call like that, unfortunately. The people on the phone wanted to know his street address, where he banked, and the approximate amounts in his checking and savings accounts. But they reassured him that this was not a scam, right? And they strictly told him not to give them the account numbers. They only wanted the banking information to confirm which account was really his so that they could protect the monies before they closed the account off on him. So then, after he gave them that information, and apparently there was enough money in the account to make him interesting to them, they then asked him to provide a phone number for their local police department and give it to them. He then went back and forth with them as to what the number was. And then when they were satisfied that it was the right number, they had somebody call with a spoofed caller ID of that number who sounded like a cop. And he said he kind of had that command presence. He didn't sound like somebody with an accent, for example. It had a very, real authoritative presence. And they told him that there was a warrant in his name and that he would have to take out some money to prove that it wasn't him. And then they wanted him to go drive to his bank and take the money out, believe it or not. At this point, you should probably be thinking that this is going to be a scam. And many people, unfortunately, keep going here because the cop is telling them what to do. And what they were going to probably have them do is take all this money out and then buy up some gift cards and take a picture of them. And that's how they usually steal the money from these people. It's like iTunes gift cards and other kinds of gift cards that they're able to get people to convert their money into. And that is usually how these things go. So they even said, when you're at the bank, tell the teller that it's a family emergency or something and don't let them on that there's a scam going on. Crazy stuff. You can read all this by pausing it. I'll try to post this somewhere as well so you can see what goes on here. But I guess as they went through this process, they figured him out. He also provided the sheriff's office address. He works at a police department as his home address. And when he did that, they told him that he should shove his plane ticket to Vegas up his you-know-what. So that was the end of that story. But this is what's going on these days, and people are vulnerable. And you can see how somebody who's elderly or somebody who's just not thinking clearly might fall for something like this. And it's something that is getting more and more sophisticated. And it's very difficult for law enforcement to reach these people because they're often outside of the country and really not accessible to them. And it's just getting worse and worse as time goes on here.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold-level supporters, the 4 Guys with Quarters podcast, emudev.org, Tom Albrecht, Brian Parker, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.